Next up, we have Atraks, the Fallen Exo. You will be greeted by our boy Tanix for a second before he crawls on out of there. You'll be seeing him again in a minute. Let's talk loadouts. This boss fight is all about burst damage, as the girl's DPS window is tiny. Weapons like Parasite and Lament excel at hitting hard and fast, as do supers like Curus of the Falling Star Thunder Crash, Star Eater Scale's Blade Barrage, and a good old-fashioned Nova Bomb. Looking around the room, you'll notice a couple things. One is the return of augmentation terminals on the left, right, and middle parts of the room, as well as these 4 escape pods in the back. These pods take you up to the space area of this encounter. This space room is laid out similarly as the basement area, with the main difference being the addition of 4 airlocks on the left and right. More on those in a sec. Split your team up into 2 teams of 3. You'll need an operator, a ground scanner, and a space scanner. Everyone will need big DPS, so make sure to bring your juice box with you. Space scanner and another player will immediately go upstairs, while the other 4 players stay downstairs clearing shanks and other enemies. Eventually there will be 3 servers that spawn on the left, middle, and right sides. Kill these guys as fast as you can. This is also the point when the operator buff will spawn on a random enemy. Call this out to your operator player and have them pick up the buff and head upstairs. Once upstairs, the operator should shoot all 3 panels on the pods to send the pods back downstairs. By this time, 3 servitors should also be spawning upstairs as well, with one of the ads coming out with a scanner buff. Killing all 6 servitors starts the damage phase, so my teams usually keep the space right side servitor alive until both buffs are collected and everyone is ready for damage phase. DPS phase starts when you see Atraks replication on the bottom left. Each room has 4 bosses, and the scanner needs to call out quickly which one is glowing yellow. Hitting the wrong boss or taking too long is an instant wipe. Your team will need to count down 3, 2, 1 before hitting her to get the most out of your damage phase. Once the boss is gone, you'll need to find the nearest augmentation terminal to send the scanner buff downstairs. There will also be a little energy orb on the ground where the boss just was. Picking this up will give that player 40 seconds of Atraks replication. This buff can be shot off players' heads by the operator, and picking it back up resets the clock. But remember those airlocks I was talking about before? The operator can shoot those panels opening the doors, have the buff player go into the airlock, and then shoot it off their head, having the player leave before the door closes. This will vent the buff out into space. Letting the timer hit 0 will result in a team wipe, so make sure to keep an eye on it. Now, basement team will be doing the exact same thing space team just did. Have the scanner pick up, read the correct Atraks, then 3, 2, 1, go. Have one of the other 2 players pick up the orb from the ground and have them head upstairs to get it vented into space. Operator should be waiting up there to reset the buff as well as tell them which airlock to go to. Scanner will then back the buff into the augmentation terminal while space team does another DPS phase. There will be 4 phases total: space, ground, until everything resets, and you'll do another set of 6 servitors to clear once again. For final stand, you'll want all 6 players upstairs. There will now be 8 bosses strewn across the space room, so your scanner needs to be on their A game here. This can be a bit chaotic, but usually you won't need to do more than 1 or 2 bosses to clear that last little bit of HP. Once she's dead, grab your loot, and it's time to do a little spacewalk.